everyone, it's me. As promised, this week I wanted to give you guys like an update on my partnership visa stuff. Basically, I wanted to go through the application and just give you guys some tips on how to avoid all of the mistakes that I've made. So without further ado, let's go. When I first came to the UK on my tier 5 to live with my boyfriend, I found out about this visa, that we would technically be eligible for it. But at that point, I wasn't really sure if we would do that. It's hard to plan out like a relationship 2 years in advance. So what we ended up doing was we kept all of our bills and like legal documents, anything that had our name and address on it, we just put it away in like a Tupperware containery thing we bought from Argos, just in case if we decided to do this visa, we would have it. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about doing this application, maybe you've not even come to England yet, I would just suggest just keep all your bills and documents just in case, because when you submit everything, it has to be original documents, which is really annoying, but at least if you have them, then you can use them. I would really suggest finding a friend. That sounds so dumb. On Facebook, there's tons of like expat groups that you can join depending on what country you're from and what country you're living in. I'm part of a couple like Canadians in the UK type groups, and it's really such a great resource because everybody's basically in the same boat. There's so many people going through the same thing. So every time I saw somebody post about this unmarried partnership visa, I just saved it. Just saved them all. I had so many in my saved Facebook thing. There was this one post about this girl, I think it was like she had just done her application, been approved, did the in-person priority service thing, which is what I'm doing. It was basically like, if you've got questions, just let me know. So I messaged her. Shout out to Erin, if you're watching this. I don't know how you found this, but hey, you've been so helpful. So really just finding somebody that's done the application just like you and that you can just bounce questions off. Because a lot of the times the language used in these applications is weird and it's not that straightforward. So it's just nice to have somebody that you can be like, what does this actually mean? As part of this unmarried partnership thingy, you have to get passport photos done. So just don't leave that to the last minute. I didn't really realize. There's nothing like a passport photo to remind you how unsymmetrical your face is. Look at that mugshot. Now, the application that, like I mentioned, is 80 pages. So what I would suggest doing is print it all single-sided and print like 3 copies. Because what I've noticed is every time I would make a mistake on that particular page, I'd take out the page and I take a blank page from one of the other copies and put it in and then redo it basically, so you don't end up redoing the whole thing or anything. Just have some backups. You will screw up. It's just the way it is. There is a document online, so this is the actual application, but there's another document that's like guidance notes, and they put some important stuff in there. Make sure you read that. I glossed over it, which was stupid. Then I read it again and realized there's just this one part about how you have to do the whole thing in black pen, and then any like names, addresses, and details and stuff need to be in block capital letters, which I didn't do. I just wrote normal font. So then I sat there with my completed application and I was like, do I redo it in block capital letters? My boyfriend said don't bother, it's just, you know, it's fine the way it is, but my anxiety said you better redo it. So I still have to redo the whole thing. A huge portion of this application is supporting documents. So the written application itself is fairly straightforward. I mean, passport details, salary details. Have you ever been involved in any war crimes or genocide? You're gonna have to state those. Addresses, all sorts of stuff. Even details on your relationship, how you met your sponsor, do you live with your sponsor, blah, 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 blah. When you combine the 80-page document plus all these supporting documents is a lot of pieces of paper. So this is how I organized it. It's actually empty right now. Okay, side note. Once you have all your documents in one place, you have to photocopy everything. So you have to submit all original documents in a photocopy version, which is dumb. So my binder's actually empty because I've taken everything out to get photocopied. So in my binder, I've got plastic wallets for everything. I've got dividers, so it'll say like correspondence, bank statements, pay slips, blah blah. Then everything is in chronological order. And then, because you have to submit an original and a photocopy, I decided, because I'm lame, so we've got on the fronts of the plastic wallets, oh, don't do that. So this one is gonna have an original document in it, because you can't probably see it. It says original. I did little like handmade stickers. So this is the original version, and then behind it will be the photocopy version, and it actually says like original photocopy, just because of who I am as a person. So this application is actually used for different visas, so like civil partners, same-sex partners, unmarried partners, married partners. It's all the same application, you just have to fill out different sections. But I think for the most part, if your relationship is straightforward, you've lived with each other for the full 2 years, you have enough money to meet the financial requirement, you really don't need like a lawyer to help you do this. It is fairly straightforward. It's just a lot of pieces. So make sure you give yourself enough time. I mentioned in my last video, I've given myself about a month. So that's plenty of time. You could do it in less if you're not a procrastinator, but I am. So a month was plenty of time. Plus I had to redo the application a couple times because I'm an idiot. And then it also gave me time to make this beautiful binder. I hope I win some awards on it. It is fantastic. So it's really just a combination of filling out the application appropriately. You obviously have to pay for everything up front, get your passport photos done, and make sure you have all the supporting documents, originals and photocopies, and then make yourself some sort of binder to help organize it. Because really, if you're going to your in-person appointment like I am, you just give them your binder. They don't interview you or anything. It's just like, here you go. So just make it as easy as you can on the officers making the decision.